Alright guys, welcome back to the channel, welcome back to another EZA video. Up next is the EZA INT Whis, the better up the two EZA of the Whis characters. He is 90% in the dupe system. I have gone full dodge just because he's mainly a support unit. He is going to be here to utilize that on each rotation. He's not here to deal damage. He doesn't get mad defense raises on his super attack, 30% for each super. So I've gone full-blown dodge just to couple with and accompany the dodge he does have already in his passive, just to utilize him that bit more. I do think that's probably the best build for him, and then where I couldn't give him dodge, I've gone additional to get a second defense raise on super just to give him a bit extra defense. But for the most part, he doesn't really need either additional or crit, so dodge is probably the best bet to go. But do let me know down in the comments what you think about the INT Whis, and don't forget to drop a like and subscribe if you are new. We do have him currently linked up with the LR Whis. It's not too bad of a setup. Of course, this Whis is missing 7 links, and I'm pretty sure the other one is as well, which is a shame. But either way, should be okay. Again, you're not really utilizing attack links or anything like that, and he is completely fine for key, as you can see there. So, doesn't really affect him all that much. He is starting with a 294k attack stat and 191k defense, which is actually not that bad, to be fair, if I'm being completely honest. For a sub EZA who isn't really dealing damage or going to be having the most amount of defense. But of course, I mean, do you want to start already by dodging? Fantastic, there we go. And he's starting with 2.38 million attacks. That, as I said, he's not really being brought to deal damage. So I'm not expecting anything ridiculous from him. That's kind of where I was expecting, especially on a sub EZA. But after supering, he does raise his defense by 30%. He causes supreme damage to enemies and lowers attack. He gets attack and defense plus 120%. And then all allies get key plus 3 and attack and defense plus 30%. So his usual spot on the team will be slot 3, just so you can utilize the support on every rotation or every other rotation when he pops up. And then of course, with all that dodge he's going to get, and with the build I've gone for to make sure he's dodging as much as possible, he can stay out of harm's way somewhat consistently, combined with all the dodge chance he does have. But here's where his support gets a little bit extra juicy. Not only does he give a flat all allies key plus 3 and attack and defense plus 30%, which is already very good, but Realm of God's category allies get attack and defense and a chance for a critical hit plus 10%, and so do Bond of Master and Disciple category allies get attack and defense and a chance for a critical hit plus 10% as well. So, along with Beerus unit, specifically INT Beerus, who he actually links pretty well with, or also LR Beerus and Whis, if you were using him in a proper run and you had him floating. Not only does these two deal really good damage anyway, and they're in a much better spot compared to what they used to be, not only are they going to be getting the key plus 3 and attack and defense plus 30%, which, I mean, they don't have key problems anymore anyway, but with Whis' support, they definitely don't. But then they're also getting the extra attack and defense plus 10% and crit chance plus 10%, and the Bond of Master and Disciple attack and defense plus 10% and crit chance plus 10%. On top of the fact they also have that 30% crit chance built in, along with you may having dupes in them as well. So this Whis is a very good support when it comes to other Whis, Beeruses, and LR Beerus and Whis. You may utilize it with this guy because of how good he can get defensively, especially with this guy's support. But mainly these guys are really going to benefit from all that support altogether, which I really, really do like. It's just a shame there's no... It's a shame the Beerus and Whis units, I'm not saying this guy's bad, he's pretty good, and these guys' EZAs are very good. It's just they're not on that level, nor is there another Beerus and Whis unit separately or other units that link well with them that are kind of in those top 10 kind of list when it comes to LRs, EZAs, TWAs, things like that, Dokkan Fest, which is a shame. But if you are going to run them, a very good setup to be running is these two together, or essentially just on the same team. So we're going to pop them in, or pop him in slot 1. We've kind of already seen INT Whis on the team here and there to utilize his support, just not really been paying attention to him or letting him get any supers off. But that support he can offer Beerus units, as I said, including the INT Beerus, who he does link quite well with. But especially the LR is very, very nice. It gives them a bag of crit chance on top of the 30% they already have. They're getting 20% extra crit chance with an extra attack and defense plus 40% with key plus 3 for their total support, which is very nice. And on top of the fact LR Beerus and Whis have additionals, crit, and dodge built in as well. It's a very good setup. It's a very nice setup, and I really do like what they've done with both their EZAs. These two are definitely kind of the better EZAs out of the bunch that have come out. And they do really work well together. And it's a rotation I do definitely want to try in Red Zone, because I think it would work really well. Of course, Red Zone Broly, you know, in the final phase, there's some Red Zone stages where you can't fully utilize Whis' dodge, but where we can, definitely want to be running them together. Now, in terms of the rest of the passive, he then gets an additional attack and defense plus 60% per Realm of Gods category allies on attacking in the same turn, which we've got a full Realm of Gods category team. So that just over 2 million attacks that he's doing is the best he's going to get. And that defense he does have, I mean, after one super attack, you're looking at just over 200k defense with all that dodge chance, including what I've given him in the dupe system. So it's not bad. I mean, for a sub EZA, it's actually quite solid. Overall, it's not bad in the grand scheme of things, but for a sub EZA, as I said, it's pretty solid. It's pretty good for the expectations I do have for this guy. And then also, and this is what I was saying during the info breakdown video, I really wish these two parts of his passive were swapped, where now he has a chance of evading enemies' attacks plus 25% per Bond of Master Disciple category ally attacking in the same turn. Now, you're always, of course, one of the main setups you're going to be having is him with LR Beerus and Whis. That's a guaranteed 25%. On top of, and as I said, the best build for him will be dodge chance. On top of however many dodge, if you do decide to go dodging him, or just rely on the 5 dodge the int units have, however much dodge chance he has from his dupe system, and that flat 25%, I mean, it's working quite well for us right now. We're actually getting quite lucky with it. But that's just where I wish it was swapped. Like, you can trigger it quite easily, because we're setting the team up so it happens. You know, we're bringing int Beerus with us as well. We're setting up so it triggers more often than not. But if that part of his passive was swapped, where it was Realm of Gods category allies attacking in the same turn was plus 25% dodge chance, and instead Bond of Master and Disciple category allies gave him the additional attack and defense plus 60% per category ally attacking in the same turn, instead it would work a bit better, because Realm of Gods have a few more better units than Bond of Master and Disciple. Realm of Gods also has a better lead overall, and also has that 200% lead portion from the ROF Blues, no matter your opinion of them. But, you know, in terms of like actual units that are viable for harder content, or just naturally better anyway, we're not just going to include Red Zone because these are sub EZAs, you're still looking at AGL UI. You can still utilize Strength UI and ESBR with them two together. You have the RF Blues specifically. You now have him, who's actually one of the better units on Realm of Gods now, is viable for Red Zone. You also have the new Dokkan Fest Same Day Godku. You have EZA LR Beerus and Whis now. As you say, that's only a few units, but there are a lot more better Realm of Gods category units, so I'd much rather fill the team with them, which is why I really do wish that part of his passive was the other way round and he got dodge chance per Realm of Gods category ally rather than Bond of Master and Disciple, because the Bond of Master and Disciple units you're really going to be running with him are going to be Beerus's and Whis'. So, you know, there's only a handful of decent ones in the game to an extent, whereas even on average you're not really going to be running Bond of Master and Disciple all that much, or at least until the 8th anniversary hits and that LR Kid Gohan does come out. You might run it a little bit more because there is the flat 200% lead. So I do really wish that was swapped, because it would work a lot better, not only for the Whis, but in terms of the team building aspect as well, just because there's quite a few better units on Realm of Gods compared to Bond of Master and Disciple, especially now after Saying Day with all the God Gokus getting the love, and especially with the Dokkan Fest. So it is a shame that's how it is, but, you know, because that means you'll be getting plus 50% dodge chance just flat, straight off the bat. And then because I've gone full-blown dodge build, which I think you should do as well, or mostly into dodge, then of course you would have that on top of the 50%. So, you know, that's my only qualm with this unit, is just literally not even if you could give him more, if you could like give a different condition, or if you could up the stats. It's literally just if they just swap the categories on those part of his passive, it would just work a lot better. Because, as I said, working with that 50% dodge chance just off the bat immediately makes him a lot better. It makes that dodge chance so much more consistent On top of the dodge, you can give him the dupe system as well, while giving out all that good support he does do, especially, again, to LR, Beerus, and Whis specifically. Like, it just makes them do insane damage on top of how much chance they have to crit, because then they're doing like 7 to 9 million on a super, especially because of Whis' support, with, like, what, in total, a 50% chance to crit with their 30%, and then Whis' 10% for Bond of Master and Disciple, and 10% for Realm of Gods. That's a 50% chance to crit LR, Beerus, and Whis have, while getting the support from Whis, which is like just over a 9 million attack stat. That's a lot of damage Beerus and Whis can do in one turn. And then if your HP threshold is, where is it, like 70%, is it? Yeah, 70% or less, they can hit an additional, which then they have another 50% chance to crit on. And that's even before you consider you may have dupes in LR, Beerus, and Whis, where they could hit another additional and have crit chance in there as well. So I really wish that was the case, because right now he has a 50% chance to dodge. If this was LR God Goku or just Dokkan Fest Goku, he'd only have 25. So I really do wish that was swapped. I really, really do. It's such a shame it's not. But as the final rotation, I'm going to have him linked up with the Int Beerus as well, who, to be fair, only gives him Shattering the Limit, but why not? It's an extra link. But in terms of an overall EZA, as a sub EZA, Int Whis is actually pretty good, and he's a fantastic addition to help out EZA, LR, Beerus, and Whis. He's a great unit to run with them. Also works really well with EZA Int Beerus as well, potentially for longer events if there's any category missions that drop for like Goku and Vegeta event, which they do still update from time to time, or any future events that are a little bit longer, or even ESBR, considering how quick he can actually build up his defense with that kind of mini stacking he's got going on. But really like his EZA, just really wish the categories were switched for the dodge chance, just so you could have that 50% a lot more consistently than with Bond of Master and Disciple. But as I said, in a few months' time, during the 8th anniversary, we will have a flat 200% lead. So maybe it might work out a little bit better there, but still a very good overall EZA, good support, very good support. As I said, it does help out LR, Beerus, and Whis a lot, and kind of makes them ridiculous, and definitely a combination I do want to try out in the likes of Red Zone. So we'll see how that goes in future videos, but do let me your thoughts down in the comments. I'll see you in the next video, guys, and peace.